Howdy. Are you a low-time pilot that's trying to avoid working as a CFI? Well, in this video, I actually have a low-time pilot job that you can qualify for that will lead to possibly working for FedEx as a pilot. So, hey, I'm Dr. Andy Moltar. I'm a flight instructor, a CFI IIMEI. I used to be a corporate pilot, and now I'm a professor of aviation. So, yeah, I know a lot of y'all low-time commercial pilots, you're looking for somewhere to fly for money, and you don't want to work as a CFI. Normally, I always recommend, get your flight instructor certificate. Even if you're not going to work as a flight instructor, get your flight instructor certificate. It's going to help you a lot more than you could possibly imagine. Now, I know not everybody's going to do that, so this is actually an opportunity that you could follow that will get you eventually to flying, left seat of a FedEx jet. So, but first, I want to tell you about my website real quick. It's Moltar Aviation. And so on my website here, I have a lot of different resources for you. So I have some just general pilot resources for you, all the pilot gear I recommend, different pilot videos, but then especially these low time pilot jobs. So my low time pilot job videos, I go around and I find companies that hire low time pilots. Now, by the time that you're watching this video, I don't know if they'll be hiring or not. So you just have to check them out, see if they are hiring or not. But you can, you just click on the video, you get to watch it. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified every time I come out with one of these kinds of videos. But yeah, so you can watch the video by clicking on the video link, or if you actually want to go to the company's website, well, then you just click on the title for that video. And so you'll see there's lots of companies that do hire low-time pilots. So the company I want to tell you about is IFL Group. So IFL Group is one of the feeder companies for FedEx, and it's part of the FedEx Purple Runway Program. And so basically, you start your career at one of these feeders, and then you work through their company, and then eventually over time you'll meet the requirements to go work for FedEx, and then you'll just flow to FedEx. So if you're on their website, you just scroll down, and you'll see the pathway for IFL Group to go to FedEx. And so the first step here is to become a flight engineer on their Boeing 727. Now, normally the way you become a flight engineer is you join the military, probably the Air Force, and you're a enlisted flight engineer on one of their jets. And that's how you get your flight engineer certificate. But I'll tell you later in the video how you can get this done. And then step 2 is you join the program. Step 3, you become a first officer on their Falcon 20. And then once you've done that for a little while, for a year to year and a half, then you'll hop over to their 121 operations, flying the ATR, the Boeing 727, or their Convair. And then once you have 1,000 hours of Part 121 flight time, well, then you're eligible to be upgraded to captain. And so once you've been a captain, now step 6, for 500 hours, you meet the requirements to flow to FedEx. Now, will you actually flow to FedEx after that 500 hours? I don't know. You have to, see if you can network, find pilots at IFL Group that can talk to you more about it. But this is an established pathway program with FedEx. Now, I tried looking at their hiring requirements on their website. I couldn't really find anything. So, when I'm in a situation like this, I like to go to Airline Pilot Central. So, this is a great website that you can use to look up any company that you're wanting to fly for. And so, here we are. It shows you that they have bases in San Francisco, OPF. I know they have other bases. And just kind of updates on the company. And so here it shows you that they have 85 total pilots. This is their fleet of aircraft from 727 all the way down to their Falcon 20. And then on this part of the page, are they hiring? Yes, they are. So this is according to Airline Pilot Central. So you actually have to apply to find out if they're going to be hiring or not. But it says here that they're hiring for all bases, all seats, all schedules. And then down here, you see the pilot hiring minimums. And so to be a first officer on the Falcon 20, you have to have commercial multi-engine pilot certificate with 300 hours. And I just want to go back to their website real quick. it says right here, you put in the time, skip what you don't need. So if you're already a commercial multi-pilot with 300 hours, you can skip the flight engineer position and go straight to step 3, flying as a first officer on their Falcon 20. If you already have your restricted ATP, then you can be a first officer on their Boeing 727, their Convair, CRJ, ATR, whatever they need. But if you're just a commercial pilot with single engine land, then hey, that flight engineer opportunity is available to you. So you either have to have your flight engineer certificate or commercial pilot with single engine land with the flight engineer knowledge test completed. And so I'll tell you about that here in a second. But before we get into that, I just want to show you their pay scale. So their pay scale, if you're a first year captain, you're gonna be making $125,000, which is not much for, let's say you're flying the 727. That's not much for a captain on one of those. But at least I'm comparing it to like 10-year legacy captain at United American Delta. But you know what? While you're there, while you're building your career, that's pretty good pay. Now, as you start going down the ladder, the pay is not as great. So you're a first officer on the ATR, the CRJ, or the 727, it's $62,000 a year. So it's livable. If you're a first officer on the Falcon 20, $27,000 a year. And I know I get comments in my videos, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in leave a comment. I always read them, always reply to them. So, but some of those comments sometimes will say $27,000. You make more at Walmart or at the post office. And that's true. But what's also true is you're working at Walmart or the post office, you're not flying airplanes. My philosophy is if there's a will, there's a way. I've known lots of pilots that lived on breadcrumbs while they're trying to make it. And so, if you're willing to sacrifice the pay for the short term, you're going to get the benefits of great flying experience. That's going to help you land your dream job at FedEx if that's your dream. All right. Now they do offer some bonuses based on your flying schedule. Now I don't know if this is dependent on position, but 5 days on, 2 days off, 28,200. 2 weeks on, 1 week off, you get a bonus of 19,200. And if you fly 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 10,200. Now, if it were me, this is to help me get to my dream job of FedEx. Then I want to fly 5 days on, 2 days off. It's going to be a lot of flying, a lot of working, but the point is to get that flight time so I can progress faster through this program to eventually be the turbine PIC, the captain, to help me reach that FedEx company quicker. All right, so let's go back to that flight engineer. So flight engineer, you just have to be a commercial pilot, single engine land with flight engineer written complete. And so if you haven't already seen it, I have a video. I'll link it right here to the different test preps I recommend. And one of those is Shepherd Air. Shepherd Air is absolutely the best test prep out there. And so you can go to that video for more information about Shepherd Air. But Shepherd Air, if you scroll down, you'll see here, Flight Engineer Turbojet Foxtrot Echo X-Ray is $90. So it's one of their more expensive test preps, but it's $90 at it's worth its weight in gold and more. So I highly recommend you use Shepherd Air if you want to apply for that position. It'll take you about 2 weeks to study for the knowledge test. You go take it at any PSI testing center, just like you have any other knowledge test, and then you apply for the job. So if you want to apply for the job, well, then you go to IFL's website, and up here on the top, you see this careers tab. When you click on it, you'll come to this website, and you'll see this feeder cargo operations section. You just hit the apply now. You'll enter in your full name, your email, your phone number, your previous work and industry experience. Let them know you're brand new pilot or you're experienced pilot. You're interested in the FedEx Purple Runway Program, and then you hit this fast apply button. There you go. You've applied. And so if they're hiring, they'll reach out to you, and I wish you luck. So, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified every time I come out with one of these videos. So thanks for watching.